of NBA basketball. All starting off with the 2008 season, where LeBron would dominate in year 2 of college ball, and Steph Curry would finish the season as the league MVP, averaging 30 points per game. But the playoffs would be a totally different story, as Steph's bid for a repeat would fall short in the conference finals in both 2008 and 2009. Bringing his championship from 2007 into question, with many fans believing he was bailed out by his teammates and that it really shouldn't count. So it seems like Steph will have to prove his doubters wrong yet again. But with the end of those 2 seasons, it means that LeBron's officially entering the NBA in the 2009 draft, where he's taking Steph's spot on the Warriors. And it wouldn't take him long to announce his arrival to both the NBA and our competition with slam after slam, eventually finishing his rookie year with averages of 21, 6, and 7. So while it took him a while to make it to the NBA, the wait would definitely be well worth it. And not only would his rookie year be great in the short term, it would be a really encouraging sign for the future, as while he would miss the playoffs with his new team as the 9th seed, it's only a matter of time until he gets some help and they make some serious noise. But Steph, on the other hand, would still be firmly in championship contention, as while the Cavs would only be the 4th seed in the top-heavy Eastern Conference, Steph Curry would cook his first 3 opponents in the first 3 rounds to return to the NBA Finals. However, while he's been battle-tested by his first appearance against the Spurs, he's now up against his toughest opponent yet. Obviously, right now, the situation's not ideal at all for Steph. He's going to have to take down Kobe. He's still in his prime. The Lakers were the number 1 seed as well, and the Cavs were the 4th. So the odds are definitely against Steph. And those odds would continue to not be in his favor, as while for a moment it seemed like Steph was the best player in the league, Kobe would be reclaiming that top spot, which is something to look out for, especially considering LeBron would be training in the meantime to also make it to the top. But in short, the NBA Finals wouldn't be close. Steph's dragged the Cavs as far as possible, but they're running out of gas, falling short in the finals in 5 games. He impressively has already led Cleveland to a title earlier, and eventually he'll be back. But right now, with his head start over, he's taking his 1-0 lead and his talents to South Beach, where he would be pairing up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh as a member of the Heat, now forming a big 3 that seems to be the title favorite. But before we see how those 3 perform, let's check in on LeBron, who's already up to 24 points and 9 assists per game as only a second-year player. And while he's still waiting on a couple of Steph's signature teammates, you would not be able to tell, as the Warriors as a team would make the leap to the top of the West, finishing with a 60-22 record as the 1 seed, which is a crazy coincidence considering that Steph and the Heat would also finish first in the East, winning 64 games. So right now it's clear that we're on the brink of a legendary rivalry. All starting with the conference finals, where both will have the chance to play each other for the championship if both can move on. So right now, both LeBron and Steph are in the conference finals. Steph's matchup against Orlando, he's pretty much guaranteed to win it. I would be very surprised if Steph wound up losing. So the real question right now is, will LeBron be able to take down Kobe? But for LeBron and the Warriors, the answer to that question would be a resounding no. And it wouldn't even be close, as Kobe would quickly take a 3-1 lead in the series. And with a chance to send LeBron home in front of the Golden State fans, Kobe would do just that, finishing off the Warriors in style to move on to the finals. Honestly, considering that this year was LeBron's 2nd, he made it all the way to the conference finals, it's honestly kind of encouraging. So with LeBron's season now officially over, we have to focus back on Steph, who would be making it to the finals, meaning that he would have his 2nd chance to take down Kobe for the title. And with the help of his new teammates, he's got a much greater chance to do so. But in the end, this one wouldn't be much different than when he was on the Cavs, as Kobe would, just as he did to LeBron, start the series up 3-1. Kobe is completely stealing the show right now, which would be enough to crush the hopes of Steph and the Heat, as he would rub salt on the wound by finishing up the job on the road. So it looks like Kobe right now is the main obstacle for both Kobe and LeBron. Or I mean Steph and LeBron, not Kobe and LeBron, obviously. But yeah, Kobe's going back to back. So with Steph Curry losing in the finals again, adding fuel to the fire that's been placed on him by the media, it's safe to say that the momentum he had from his first title has completely gone away. But the 2012 season would maybe be the best one yet. Because for LeBron, he'd be getting some help with the addition of Klay Thompson, who would be a seamless fit with LBJ, who's now at 25-10, leading the team back to the Western Conference Finals for a 2nd straight time. But before we see who he's up against, in Steph's case, he would be averaging a cool 31 points per game to win his second MVP, which would be enough to help lead the Heat back to the finals, where he'll either be going up against LeBron and the Warriors, or the Oklahoma City Thunder. LeBron's gonna have to go up against KD, Harden, Westbrook. If he wants to meet up with Steph in the finals, that's what he's gonna have to be. And while in a way LeBron is lucky to have avoided Kobe, the Thunder would prove that they're not too far behind, as the combined efforts of KD, Russ, and Harden would help OKC go up 2-0 in the series. But keep in mind, LeBron's consistently carried the Warriors through the playoffs for multiple years now, and that was before he had the help of Klay Thompson. So with those two working together, the Warriors would take not one, not two, not three, but the next 4 straight to make the comeback and advance, meaning that both LeBron James and Steph Curry will finally cross paths in the finals for the first of many times. However, while one day the two will have a more competitive matchup, this one would be over before it started, as the battle-tested Big Three with Steph leading the way would bounce back from last year at the expense of LeBron and the Dubs, who are too inexperienced to really stand a chance. Miami would not only win the series, but sweep it. Little round of applause for Steph, he's back on the board. It was only a matter of time. However, if you find yourself rooting for LeBron, don't count him out just yet. There's still a chance for him to come back from this 0-2 deficit. He's only in season 4, so he should be getting better, as does the whole team. And on top of that, the Warriors still have one more player that'll eventually join the team that could change the entire competition. But before we get to that, Steph would be continuing where he left off